Good morning, cheers, or good afternoon, or good evening. It's me, Mr. Kraus, fearless English teacher here at Downey High, trying to tackle yet another semester, end of semester review for you guys to prepare for your final. Real quickly, if you're new to Mr. Kraus, Fancy Fanboys is a pet or a slang term I give for conjunctive adverbs like moreover or however. Okay, so the real term is conjunctive adverbs, but I like to call them Fancy Fanboys. All right, let's get into the review. I will not write out any answers for you guys. I will just go through this as quickly as possible. So here we go. Finish this sentence. Fancy Fanboys, aka conjunctive adverbs, are typically only used for combining sentences. That's really important, guys. I've stressed that. That's one of the reasons that comma fanboys is the first domino. This is the second domino, right? All right. Excuse me. Give 4 fancy fanboys for and. I'm sure you guys can remember moreover, furthermore, additionally, and my least favorite option. Also, by the way, could you put a sad face next to also and make sure it's last in the list, and I'll try to acknowledge that with a little bit of extra credit. There are several fancy fanboys for but and yet. The most common example is however. That isn't the only one. Nevertheless, nonetheless. And these two often, you guys need a reminder to keep them as one compound word, one word. Nevertheless and nonetheless. The last option would be conversely. It's a terrific word. Doesn't come up every semester, but yes, there are several options to use instead of just but and yet. Moving right along to our good old so's. Our so's are terrific. They show cause and effect in our writing. However, that tiny 2-letter word has some terrific academic, super nerdy stand-ins or synonyms. You're all too common, therefore, please try the rest of this list, not just therefore. Consequently, it's a fantastic, prodigious polysyllabic word that stands in place of not only therefore, but also the tiny 2-letter word so. Again, we have therefore, super common, perhaps played out, so to speak, and consequently. We can move right along with hence, H-E-N-C-E, hence. And the last one would be thus, T-H-U-S, thus. What is a phrase that equates or is similar in meaning to the comma fanboys so? That would be the phrase as a result. Again, punctuation options, which we're going to talk about here in a quick second, apply to the phrase as a result, as well as all of these fancy fanboys. What I would like to see here, the order isn't particularly important, but I would like to see a dot and then the word period. I would like to see semicolon, then the words semi-colon, and then what's the last option? You know, come on, comma. So I'd like to see the symbol comma and then the word comma. By the way, if you write comma, I'll try to give you an extra credit point. Thanks for listening to this wonderful video. What is the only punctuation, and it always goes after Fancy Fanboys? Again, I'd like to see the punctuation mark of a comma and the word comma. All right, there are some tips and tricks for looking at these sentences. I didn't go over that with comma fanboys, so lucky you, you're learning it right here, right now. Don't read. Did Mr. Kraus, the English teacher, say that? Yes, he did. Just find the comma fanboys. Excuse me, just find the fancy fanboys and decide, is that punctuation correct? Well, if you answered questions 6 and 7 accurately, you would know yes. Wait, look closer. Mr. Kraus, get your eyes checked. No, that is incorrect. So you place an I right here. Please use a capital I with a neat line at the top and a neat line at the bottom so that I don't make a mistake in assessing your work. Look at the next sentence. Is the punctuation correct? No. As my daughter would say, no. So again, a capital I. We don't even need to read the sentence. Moving right along. Don Drysdale, moreover, Sandy Koufax. Okay. First of all, it's incorrect because of the punctuation. Secondly, it's incorrect because we're not combining sentences. Don Drysdale, good old school Dodger player from days of yore. A fantastic one at that. He is not a sentence, right? Don Drysdale is not a sentence. So we're not going to use fancy fanboys. Let me say that in the positive. Let me rephrase that. We only use fancy fanboys when combining sentences. All right, let's take a look. Oh boy, we've got correct punctuation. Now we actually have to decide what. Well, is there a complete sentence before? Let's do our best. Many people recall the Shaq and Kobe era of the LA Lakers to be the greatest. Okay, so that definitely sounds like a sentence. The verb is recall. Who or what recalls the Shaq and Kobe era? Many people. So we have a subject and a verb. Let's see if we have a subject and a verb right after nevertheless. And it looks like we do. Those classic nouns and pronouns like I, he, she, it. We is a good one. They is a great one. It is fantastic. Even though I already said it, it bears repeating. So let's see. Remember is the verb. So who or what remembers the era of Magic and Kareem? I. So we have a verb and we have a subject. So yes, this is a compound sentence that correctly punctuates and it correctly is used to combine two independent clauses. So that is a C. Students bring their password. Oh, sorry. Let's take a look at the punctuation. It is incorrect. So we don't even need to read it. No. All right. So it's an I. Let's take a look at the next one. Children, look at the, don't read it. Look at the, oh shoot, the punctuation's correct. Now we have to make a decision. All right. Grow is the verb, guys. Up. We like to attach up and down with our verbs. It's a very English thing. Who or what grows up and learns about the world? Children. So it looks like we got a sentence going before. Let's look for that noun or pronoun. We don't see a noun or pronoun. What we see is the dreaded ing. You guys, this isn't perfect, but it's meant to help you. If you see ing right after your fancy fanboys, it's probably not a good use of fancy fanboys. That's a simple way of looking at it, but that'll get you going with most of your writing. Again, you could rewrite this as something like, well, first of all, this is incorrect. And then secondly, it does not have that subject right here. It does not have a who or what. So it would probably be children or they understand more of the world with each passing year. That would be better. And I just wanted to reiterate that problem. The ing right after fancy fanboys is typically incorrect. There it is again. Even if the punctuation were correct in this problem, we have that ing right after. And it's similar, guys. Remember that it and they problem? Students bring blah, blah, blah. Therefore, they conclude that. And if I got rid of the ing, it would be compound sentence structure. And then I would need to fix the punctuation. Okay, don't let me lose you. Look for the ing right after the fancy fanboys. So that's bad. Here we go. Here's another one. That's bad. So I just want to reiterate that a couple of times to help you out on the final. Explain the strategy or steps to identifying whether these sentences are correct or incorrect. Remember, first, look at the punctuation. Decide if it's incorrect. Boom, don't read. Just mark the sentence incorrect. Second, two fingers, Mr. Krause, English teacher, not a math teacher. Second, if the punctuation is correct, look for those INGs with fancy fanboys, and then that's probably incorrect. So you are unsure, just mark it incorrect. 3, if you've got correct punctuation, do your best to decide that there is a complete sentence before and after the fancy fanboys. Do your best. That's a subject and a verb for you guys that can understand and follow me this far. Hey, thanks for watching. If you guys would please draw a lightning bolt somewhere at the bottom, I'll try to acknowledge that with a couple more extra credit points. Hey, keep going. Excuse me. You're almost there. You can do it.